name is Elizondo, and this is my camp story. So last year I attended winter camp. It was my first time going to camp with high school ministry, and I was a little nervous because I didn't have a ton of church friends, so one of my best friends from high school was coming with me. Leading up to it, I was sort of feeling like I was starting to get confused and stressed out about whether or not what I wanted in my future was what God had planned out for me. Before we left, I was praying a lot about it and asking God if He would just show me, if He would just answer my prayers and my questions. And so that was what I was looking forward to going into camp. So when I got to camp, my friend who was supposed to come with me, she ended up being sick. So it was just me. I didn't really have that many friends. I was put into Sarah Sosa's cabin, and I didn't really know Sarah at the time. But I knew most of the girls that were in the cabin, so that was good. And it was just really beautiful up there, and you could feel God's presence right when you got up there. While I was at camp, I saw God speaking to me through different people and through different things that I was seeing and hearing. And one night, I remember specifically, it was during chapel, and I was just really, really getting stressed out about the fact, like, what is my future going to be? Is it going to line up with what God has planned? It was like He just spoke to me in that moment and was like, Grace, like, don't worry about it. You're going to be fine. Like, I have everything planned out. You don't need to worry about it because it's going to happen the way it's going to happen, and I'm going to get you there, and you don't have to worry about anything. That was my big moment from camp. After I got home from camp, I immediately just trusted God so much more, and I put all my trust into Him, and it changed not only how I looked at the long-term effects where I'm going to be in 10 years, but also like my schoolwork and just different things like tests and projects that I had to do. It was like He just took off all that stress, and He reminded me that it was going to be okay and I was going to get through it, and He was going to be there with me. After I got home from camp, I was reading through my Bible. One verse caught my eye, and it sort of spoke to me differently, and I had read it many times before. It's a well-known verse, and it's Jeremiah 29:11. And it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope in a future." And it sort of was like God was just reassuring me, like, you're going to be okay, and that He's got everything under control, and He's going to get me there. And it was just a really reassuring verse, and I look at it almost every day because it's just a reminder that God's with me. If you're on the fence and you don't know if you're going to come to camp or not, come to camp. I would tell you to come because even if you don't have any friends, like my friend bailed out last minute because she was sick, and that was sort of scary, but I knew God was in control, and if you believe that, then it's just going to be the best week of your life. It's just an amazing experience, and you're going to see God in so many different ways that you never expected to see Him, and He's just going to be with you through it all, and it's going to be a really great week. My name is Elizondo, and this is my camp story.